And I came in this morning, and Ricky had sharpened some shears yesterday, and there was a couple of them. He said, "Hey, Bonnie, when you get in tomorrow, would you check my work?" Now, these are some really interesting shears. And let me tell you a little bit about these shears and about the person that sent these to me. So, one of my favorite people is Yancey Edwards. And do I have a picture of Yancey here anywhere? Um, I probably do on the screen. Um, if you go to Sheer Insanity or Google Yancey Edwards, you'll find him all over social media. He is a very famous hairstylist, works for a lot of the, he's out in, well, most of the time I think he's in California or New York. I'm not sure. He goes back and forth, but he's like the head educator. I mean, not educator, he's like the head stylist for one of the TV studios. And hoping some people will come on and see me this morning. I don't have anybody here yet. But he is, when I talk about the different personalities of hair cutters, he is a what I would call a lion cutter, or maybe a lion gorilla cutter. But he has a lot of shears. We met him when he was just starting out. Interesting story of his life, how he got into doing hair. But I see I have one person here. Hello, good morning. But this is a triple shear, and I haven't seen this specific one before, but this one is made similar to one that we produced that had a different type of screw connecting it, but the little connector at the finger rest is the same. In fact, we have some of these parts if somebody is working on one of these and loses it. But it's the first time I've seen this particular shear. And it says, oh, this is Krebs, um, a Krebs shear. And it says special stainless in Japan, but I'm like, the steel's probably from Japan, but I'm like 99.9% certain this was made in Taiwan because it looks identical to some shears we were getting from Taiwan that were these multiple double shears. And I've had some people ask for this, so we may start carrying these again. If some of you watch this and you think we need to have these double and triple shears. So why in the world with triple shears? Because when you cut here, the would be gone. They're using it for point cutting. It's for people that point cutting. So right now, man, this is hard to open and close. Now I know Yancey that uses these has a, he's what, 6'7", big, tall guy, got big hands. So he may have no problem opening and closing these. For me, with my arthritis, it feels a little stiff. But Ricky sharpened these. I showed him how to take them apart. And if you want to know, first of all, you would take the finger rest off. Do you see this little piece right here? That hooks between the finger rests to keep these together. I really think, personally, I would probably have finger rest on this side as well, and this little piece to hold them together. Oh, the piece I have in stock here only is for two. Um, I wonder if we ought to put a finger rest in the middle there to hold these better. I think I'm going to do that before I send these back. But the way this screw works, this comes all the way off, and it goes all the way through all three of these shears. And let's take this finger rest off so we can actually take it apart. So it goes all the way through all three of these shears, but because it goes all the way through all three of these shears, you can't really check each individual shear and see how it cuts. So it does make it much more difficult. Look at me, putting it together wrong. Yeah, you have to stop and think about this thing. As I said, this is the first time I've seen this one, and I had to leave yesterday and left this to Ricky to do on his own, just other than showing it how to do it. In case you don't know who Ricky is, Ricky works for us, and he's 17, and he's an excellent sharpener. I do still check his work just because um, my granddaughter likes to come in here and distract him sometimes while he's working, so I always check his work afterwards. Um, you'll have to talk to Brooke about her distracting Ricky, but I don't mind. He's a pretty nice guy, and if um, so, I'm putting this back in. So I'm going to check this. Let's check it with tissue first. And then I'm going to check it on some hair, and I'll show you how this cuts. So this is some of that really cheap tissue. This is like what they have at the Atlanta airport if you use the bathrooms there. So it cuts dry. Let's see if it cuts wet. And always when Ricky sharpens or I sharpen, I always double check to make sure those tips come together good and they're not pointy. Then they're not, they feel good. He's doing a lot better job about that. I did a video recently where I was checking Ricky's work and he left a tiny gap. And so he has not done that again. Maybe it's because I had it on video so I'm cutting wet. And you notice my thumb is out. It pulls a little bit, but I think it's okay. Let's go try it on some hair. I'm going to have to walk down the office here. Yeah, these are crazy looking. So the way these cut, and I can't use this mannequin because her hair is too short. So you're just going to have to put up with me walking through the office down here to the front. Yes, we've decorated for Christmas. That happened yesterday. You want to say good morning, Misty? She's busy. She's got a lot of orders to get out. So here's my mannequin. I'm going to cut in. Now, if you cut in straight, now you're going to cut. If we're using these shears, you would. Well, I am using these shears. I'm going to cut at a little bit of an angle, and it's not pulling. But you see how it gives me that little nice zigzag shape. So if I was cutting bangs or something and I want it to look kind of zigzag, raggedy, that would do a nice job with these shears. Need to blow that hair off. So I think I can send these back to Yancey. I think he'll be okay with them. I'm still wondering if I ought to put, well, I don't have the attachment to attach those finger rests there, but I'll clean the tissue out from between. And I'm going to say those look good. Pictures of Yancey around here, do we? I know I have. Yeah, maybe on Gene's computer it'll pop up, but so y'all know who he is. Let's see. We have pictures that pop up on his computer. I know there's one of Yancey in here. Let's see if it just happens to pop up. Nope, that's not Yancey. That's me and Gene. That's me and Gene again. That's me and Gene again. One more and I'm going to get, oh, there's me and Gene. There's a lot of pictures of Gene and me. Wow. Okay, that was us in Germany when I was at, okay, that is a hairstylist in Ohio. Maybe that's a hairstylist local. Maybe Yancey will be next. Nope, Gene and me. Whole family. Oh, well, that's not him either. That's not him either. Okay, I give up. I give up. I guess it's not going to pop up. Oh, there's Frances, by the way. She's passed away. And Christina Carcillo. I know his picture's going to pop up. Oh, well, that's not him either. I'm going back. let's look at the other shears. So these shears are actually ours. They are discontinued shear. Now, when we get a shear, our shears have a lifetime warranty. Oh, I lost everybody that watching all those pictures, except for one brave soul. Okay, so this is a sister twister. Like in the airport, weird, yeah. This is a shear that we came out with, and I just thought it was the greatest idea. And Yancy and like one other person liked it. The other people, every time I sold one, they came back. And then we had difficulties with these parts coming loose, and they would lose these little pieces in here. So anytime we've got a shear that it's just a lot of difficulties because we have a lifetime warranty on them, we discontinue them. So this is a discontinued shear, but Yancy loves it. I've actually got one left here in stock, so when this one wears out, I can sell it to him. As I said, there was like 2 people that love this shear. Now this one, in my opinion, is too loose. So I'm going to tighten it. Let's find a UFO tool. I don't know. Ricky moves everything to the other side of the room, so I have to go looking for it. There's my Cymac. That's what he sharpened him on. And this is their little pyramid UFO tool. Let's see if I can tighten it. But this is a Bonika shear, so if it's ruined or something or unrepairable, we'll have to replace it with something similar. We don't have the same shear. So I want to try to tighten this. And as I don't remember it having a clicker plate underneath it too. There was a couple of things I didn't like about this design of the shear. Now I've got it too tight. Now shears are always going to loosen up on you. And that's going to be your number one complaint, is that they're going to flip and fold hair. Okay, I like that better. I like that better. The tip comes together. I'm checking, those of you that are just coming in and joining me, I'm checking Ricky's sharpening. He sharpened these yesterday, and these belong to Yancy Edwards, who is does a lot of hair for the movie and television. He's from Orange, New Jersey, and he was nominated for an Emmy doing the hair at The View on that TV show. He's been able to do a lot of celebrities' hair. Okay, that cuts nice. Now, the wet tissue tells me if all the nicks and burrs are gone. The angle I put on my clamp tells me how sharp it is. And then the other thing, I showed people the other day, and when I was last week, when I was at the sharpening convention with Wolf in South Carolina, I think 2 or 3 times, Jim Turner, who's one of my favorite people in the world, he was commenting about how he liked the way I took my edge marker, and I sort of pulled the blade here and felt how it catches, and that kind of tells you how sharp it is. Because I can have a shear that's a fairly blunt angle that'll still cut wet tissue. So a lot of people don't realize that. So when you're testing shears, you really need to cut wet tissue to see if all your nicks and burrs are gone, but it's good to cut hair and see if it pushes. So I'm going to cut hair. And I know that Yancy normally is cutting a lot of hair extensions. That's a nice cut. Nice crisp cut. Okay. So, Ricky, if you're watching this video, you did a really good job on this sharpening, even though these are both shears you've never seen before. That one's one I've never seen before. And I'll send these out today to Yancy. And I've got to answer this phone, so goodbye.
Possibly the worst call you'll ever.
Sorry about that. That was a phone call. Sorry about that. That was a phone call. So I'm going to get out of here. and call Clayt back. Clayt is someone that that I'll put my face on here. Oh, my hair looks wild. But Clayt is someone that came when he was 19 years old, and with his mom and his sister, and he paid for all the training and the shears in cash, and he's been doing an amazing job. It's been, I guess, about 2 years now, and I look on Facebook where he's kind of traveling out west doing shooting elks or whatever, and so I know he's doing well, and I can tell by the shears he orders all the time. So um, I'm going to call Clayt, but I hope this was helpful to you just to see some unusual shears that you may or may not come across. So check my other videos. I have a Patreon channel now. I have my first Patreon member, and everybody's gone. Goodbye.